Okay, let's unpack this. We live in a tech ecosystem that is completely obsessed with the new.
Oh, absolutely. Everything is wireless and
Cloud-based, lightning-fast stuff. But if you actually walk into the server room of a stadium or a massive broadcast studio, you are going to find a lot of legacy hardware.
right, stuff that was built to last forever but speaks a language from 30 years ago.
Good old RS-232. And that is exactly where today's deep dive comes in. We have the product page for the Kramer FC-132ETH.
The officially titled 32-port serial control gateway and advanced serial communication matrix.
Which is a huge mouthful. But our mission here is to figure out how this single box acts as a massive translator and really a traffic cop for up to 32 different hardware devices.
Because it bridges that massive gap between modern Ethernet networks and old-school serial communication. It really serves two distinct roles here, the gateway and the matrix.
So break that down for us. Let's start with the gateway part.
Sure, so as a gateway, it's a pure translator. It takes your modern control system like a laptop or a tablet, sending IP commands over Ethernet.
And it converts those IP commands into serial commands, right?
Exactly, either RS-232 or RS-485. So it allows your modern computer to talk to hardware like AV scalers displays and audio amplifiers.
Without needing some specialized cable plugged directly into the back of them.
Precisely.
Huh.
But that is just standard for a gateway. Where it gets really interesting is the matrix aspect. It handles the routing.
And it features 32 bidirectional RS-232 output ports. 32.
It is a massive amount of cable management. Plus, it has 8 bidirectional input ports.
So you get this incredible flexibility for your setups.
Yeah, it allows for one-to-one bidirectional talk or one-to-many unidirectional switching. You can theoretically send a single command to shut down every display in an entire building simultaneously.
That is a lot of power. But with that many devices connected, isn't it chaotic to control? I mean, who is actually managing all this?
Well, the specs show this isn't just for a single user. It is built for huge scale. It supports simultaneous IP control communication with up to 40 IP control clients.
Wait, so 40 different computers or tablets could be sending commands to this thing at the exact same time?
Yes, and here's the kicker. You don't necessarily need specialized expensive control software installed on all of them.
Because it has built-in web pages, right?
Exactly. You can literally just log in via a browser to manage the remote routing and control.
That makes it surprisingly accessible. What about the physical side of things? If you are staring at the back of this unit, what are you actually seeing?
It's dense. You have that one Ethernet control port, the RJ45 for your network. Then you have the 32 outputs we talked about.
Plus the one selectable port between RS-485 and RS-232.
Right, depending on what specific industrial gear you are driving.
Yeah.
And there is a mini USB port, mostly for firmware upgrades and local service.
And technically speaking, the speeds are really solid for this standard. It supports baud rates up to 150-200 BPs.
Handling data up to 310 kilobp summed across all ports.
Which for text-based serial commands is plenty fast. Now, usually when we look at enterprise gear like this, easy isn't the first word that comes to mind.
But the source explicitly highlights a plug-and-play installation with an IP auto setup deployment.
Yeah, you can just rack mount this thing since it's a standard 1U aluminum enclosure.
Made specifically for professional installations. It simplifies the deployment so much compared to configuring 32 separate little adapters.
It definitely sounds like a serious piece of kit, and the price reflects that. The source lists the today's price at $1,876.
Which is actually discounted from roughly $2,300.
Which sounds steep at first glance.
It is an investment, sure. But think about the bigger picture. Imagine the cost of replacing 32 professional displays or amplifiers just because they lack an Ethernet port. Suddenly, $2,000 for a gateway seems like an absolute bargain.
That is a great point. It prevents technology obsolescence.
Exactly. It extends the life of the heavy iron infrastructure you already paid for.
Which is a huge takeaway for you listening. Just because hardware interface standards change doesn't mean your incredibly expensive equipment becomes useless.
As long as you have the right translator bridging the gap between durability and modern connectivity.
Before we go, here is a final provocative thought for you to chew on. In a world absolutely obsessed with wireless tech and instant cloud connectivity, why does the ancient RS-232 serial port remain the unshakable backbone of professional control systems requiring powerful gateways like this just to keep them relevant?
Definitely something to think about next time you see a smart building in action.
Thanks for joining this deep dive. Catch you on the next one.